Ladies and gentlemen, Arne Duncan.
Thank you so much, John, and good morning. Thanks to all of you for coming here today. And we did have a great partnership in Chicago, and we're thrilled to be able to continue that here in Washington now. The research that John and his colleagues did at the Consortium on Chicago School Research, what they produced was like a compass for those of us who are working as hard as we could to try and reform the quality of education in that city. Whenever possible, our key decisions were driven by data and scrutinized very closely.
How do you see the role of technology education moving forward from a skills-based approach to more of a reasoning and scientific approach?
Yeah. I think we can't overstate how critically important technology is going to be to transform the educational outcomes for students as we move forward. And I think particularly at a time, as I talk about, of constrained budget resources, and we're trying to do more of less and become more efficient, I think technology is a huge part of that answer. Thank you so much. Thanks for all your hard work. And I'd now like to reintroduce John Easton. John.
Thank you very much, Arne. That was just great. Last year, this IES Research Conference took place 1 week after I started my new job, and I had to stand up here and say something coherent about my vision for IES. And I had exactly 5 working days under my belt. But I did give it a shot, and I focused on a theme that I've echoed since then in dozens of talks I've made across the country and to nearly every professional group in Washington over this past year.
So let's start out at the very beginning here. We're talking about intervention research. And the intervention research paradigm here is a familiar one to all of you. We're going to compare a treatment sample with a control sample configured in some way. We tend to favor random assignment for good reasons on some educational outcome measure as a way of estimating the effect of that intervention on that outcome measure.
I'm wondering whether that's a fundamental difference that relates to kinds of measures that we're using, and if there are going to be other strategies that we may need to think about adding to the way in which we conduct single subject designs as well.
Who's that aimed
at? I'll start in responding. Howard, you asked similar questions 3 years ago when we did this, and I think you were right then, and you're right now. Yeah. Yes, I think measures always make a difference in terms of effect size, and I think one of the reasons why single case studies are going to have very large effect size is because most of the measures are very fine-grained measures. They're very sensitive measures. When you use dull measures, you have much greater error variance and you have lower effect size.